Ultimately, at some point, and I think it was probably fairly quickly after I switched to futures, I was like, NASDAQ is great. I love this like volatility. I love this movement,
Right.
kind of like an addict for the maybe it's a little bit of gambler's mentality, but I was like, oh my God, I can make $1,000 in, 1 minute.
Sure. Rena, thanks so much for joining me here. I am excited to get to know you. I've been following you on Twitter for a little while now. It looks like you've had a great streak of success. If you could give us a little introduction, tell us a little bit about yourself and how you started trading.
Yeah, well, thank you so much for having me, first of all. Really good to meet you, and hope to share some insight that'll help some traders and wherever they are in their journey. So yeah, I wouldn't say trading, but I started investing in mostly in GameStop in 2021. It was COVID. We
Followed the
were
crowd on that one,
bored.
huh?
Yeah, and I think I read about it like in the New York Times or something. And I was like, oh, let me see what this. Oh, Wall Street bets. Let's see what that's about.
Okay.
And kind of got sucked into the whole GameStop cult, embarrassingly, for I don't know, like 9 months or so. But that's what sort of started me on my trading journey ultimately. I started selling options, like covered calls on my GameStop stock, to try to recoup some of the investment back.
Mm,
And that sort of fueled my interest in options trading. Started to just, ingest all the information I could find on like leaps and straddles, and I can't even honestly remember the names of half of the options trades now because I switched to futures, and that's where
got
I'm
it.
stuck. I think everyone kind of has to find an instrument that works for them, and
Hmm.
an asset that works for them, and so I eventually started trading futures probably in about 2022, so like 3 years ago, and at that point my cash was sort of my cash flow was wearing down, from all of the options trading. Again, this is like my first year of trading. And I think I was watching someone's YouTube, and they had, I forget which prop it was, but like an ad at the top for prop firm. And I think I had always, I'm sorry, am I like rambling way too much by this?
No, no, no. Keep
Okay,
going by all
okay,
means.
okay. Um, and I think I kind of had a concept in my mind of what a prop firm was, and that was like a bad word. And that it's like trading penny stocks or something. Like it's kind of seedy a little bit. I really didn't know. But the more I looked into it, I was like, oh, this is really great. This would be an opportunity for me to continue my trading journey and, invest so much less capital.
Hmm.
So I started my first prop firm challenge. This was like end of 2022. And again, just futures trading. Mostly NASDAQ, a little bit of S&P. And at that point, I also heard about this guy called Inner Circle Trader,
Hmm. ICT.
ICT.
Hmm.
I was in a Discord, and there was a little subset of people that were talking about all these crazy concepts. And I'm like, what is this stuff? And out of kind of intellectual curiosity, I started looking into it, and really just dove into ICT concepts full steam ahead. And so this brings us to 2023, and towards the end of 2023, so about a year after I started my first prop firm challenge, I took my first prop payout. And then in 2024, and all throughout this, I was working full time as an executive assistant.
Okay.
So at the around spring 2024, the company that I worked for, unfortunately had to declare bankruptcy, and so everyone got riffed, everybody got laid
Mm.
off, and honestly, I was kind of thrilled. Like I knew in my mind that I wanted to go full time with trading, and I was
Now
getting
you're forced to.
yeah, and I was getting frustrated with like trying to trade during meetings and like blowing accounts because of that. I was like, if I'm going to blow an account, I want it to be because I'm like trading badly, but I'm like full into trading.
Yeah.
No, focus
Yeah.
sold
No
exclusively
distracted
on
trading.
that. No distracted trading.
Yeah.
And so yeah, so I was kind of like thrown into full-time trading in 2024, and I've been doing that ever since to
Congrats.
varying degrees of success.
Sure.
It's been a lot of ups and downs as anyone's trading journey
For
will
sure.
be.
That's extremely common. So, okay, let's go back to the beginning. You had
Yes.
some stock trading initially, a GameStop position you put on. I assume you had traded some other things, maybe had some initial investments outside of GameStop, or were you all in
Oh
on
yeah.
GameStop?
No, I had I forget what it was. I had some app, like little investing app, like Acorns or something, I think it was
Sure.
called, where you put like part of your paycheck into
Okay.
like
Yeah.
ETFs
Hmm.
or so I had like some Apple, I had some Tesla.
Hmm.
But I didn't really know what I was doing. I didn't know what a candlestick chart was. It was just based on, well, this seems like a good tech stock to own.
Sure. Sure. Let's
Yeah.
buy some now.
Yeah.
But then what brought you down the options path? I mean, it sounds like you understood enough about options to at least sell those covered calls. How did you navigate that path through options?
I think it was honestly from watching YouTube streamers talk about GameStop and trying
Mm,
to understand like what does this mean, that like what's a gosh, it was so long ago. I can't even remember a short squeeze. Is that what it's
right.
called? Short
Right.
squeeze?
That was the
What,
initial
yeah.
catalyst for GameStop.
Right.
Right.
Like I think I blacked out that period of my life. Um but trying to understand like what that all meant, and then I'm hearing these YouTube streamers talk about puts and calls, and oh, there's this thing you can do. You can sell covered calls on
Mm,
your shares that you own to earn income, and
mhm.
it's like, oh, that sounds good.
Especially since you were still holding GameStop during this
Yes,
period,
as
right?
it declined and declined and declined, and eventually I just had to, I sold out of it completely, and
Did you kick the options contract loose as well, or did you make some
I
profit on
did.
the options?
Oh, I definitely made some well, I made some profit on the options, but
Okay.
overall the investment was, I'll be carrying forward like capital gains losses on my taxes for like the next
For a while
decade.
now. What did they
So,
raise it to? I think we're like at 3,000 a year. So yeah, I'm right there with you. I have some losses I'm carrying forward for like a
yeah,
decade now.
yeah. So yeah, my losses are covered.
Got it. That makes perfect sense. So when you moved over to futures, then it had to have felt like a whole new ball game. You've got all kinds of different markets that you can access. Was your introduction to futures prop firm accounts though, or did you open a live futures account?
No, I opened a live futures account,
Okay.
and it wasn't as foreign as you might think,
Hmm.
because I had already been trading options mostly on like SPX. There's like
Okay.
SPX 0DTE.
Yep.
So then I started trading, ES futures.
Okay.
And so, in terms of what I was looking at on the chart, it wasn't that different. But of course, the leverage is completely different. And all of a sudden, I don't have to worry about time decay and,
Right.
deltas and Greeks. So,
Sure. Plus the
I was like,
premium of an options contract based on
right.
volatility or whatever. Now it's just directional, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah.
Got it.
And I'd say that also really probably led into my, interest in investment and learning ICT, because at
Hmm.
that point I was really analyzing price action. I'm looking at candlestick charts. I'm looking at, EMAs. I'm trying to figure out why at this time of day, price is more volatile, where it's going. Like I just wanted to understand how to read price action.
Got it.
So, like looking at fundamentals did not interest me. I don't want to be analyzing the earnings report. I had already done the, like Discord signal groups where you're just trying to copy someone else. And, of course that led me to more losses. So I really wanted to, try to understand how to read price action as best as possible.
Yeah. So unsurprisingly, you experimented with a ton of different things in there. I heard that you were,
Yeah.
you were also trading SPX 0 DTE options. on top of your GameStop covered calls. So you've definitely run the gamut of experimentation. Did you find yourself dialing into ES then, or like what does the journey look like at that point as you made your way towards
Um,
profitability and profit?
yes, and ultimately at some point, and I think it was probably fairly quickly after I switched to futures, I was like, NASDAQ is great. I love this like volatility. I love this movement,
Right.
kind of like an addict for the maybe it's a little bit of gambler's mentality, but I was like, oh my God, I can make $1,000 in, 1 minute.
Sure.
So, and I've pretty much stuck to trading NASDAQ since then.
Okay.
I have branched out a little bit into trading gold more recently.
Yeah. With how
But
much that's been rallying, that makes sense. I mean, it's
yeah,
trending like crazy.
yeah. And now I'm also trying to learn how to trade crypto, which is like, I feel like I'm starting all over again a little bit.
Now, would that be spot crypto or are you trading crypto futures?
uh, I think I want to say spot crypto.
Like directly on
Like
Coinbase
I don't even
or?
know. It's with a prop firm. It's with Breakout
Oh, okay.
Prop.
Yeah,
So
that's likely the perpetual futures contracts on crypto
yes,
then.
that's it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got it.